This is your one and only 𝐈𝐸𝐻81 with your daily dose of video goodness, and today I'm going to show you how to get into what is essentially a creative building mode in V Rising for all those who just want to build awesome castles. Let's get to it. So the first thing you're going to do is go into your options menu, and here where it says console enabled, you may or may not have this little box here filled in. For all intents and purposes, I'm going to call it checked. It may or may not be checked for you. So if it looks like this, do this and make sure that it is checked. Once you have done that, you are going to go to play. You are going to go to private game. You're going to go to here where it says select rule set and select standard PvE easy. And then click load. Then you're going to go to here where it says advanced game settings. Click that. Once you've clicked that, you can see here we are presented with a ton of different settings. So don't worry, we're going to go through each of these and I'm going to explain the ones you need to change. So first thing you want to do is take this garlic strength multiplier, silver, and sun, and just pull those all the way down to 0. This is going to basically make you immune to all of those things. Next, we're going to go to where it says teleport bound items, and we're going to uncheck that. That's going to allow you to just teleport with anything in your inventory. Inventory stack size multiplier, we're going to just crank that all the way up. This is going to allow you to just have larger stacks in your inventory of whatever resource. Now, we're going to set this so you don't really need resources, but just do this anyway. It's going to allow you to hold more crap. Then we're going to scroll down to where it says castle. We're going to take our decay rate multiplier and pull that all the way down. Blood essence drain rate, pull that all the way down. Castle heart limitation, we're going to pull that all the way up to 5. This is going to allow you to have up to 5 castle hearts. Minimum distance between castles. I don't think this makes a difference if you're not playing with other people, but just in case, pull that all the way down. Territory tile limit, this is how many tiles you can have per level of castle. Now, you may or may not want to upgrade your castle and deal with that. It's going to drain, but it's not going to drain very much. And because we have selected decay rate multiplier down to 0, you can see here that this is the rate of how quickly a castle deteriorates when the castle heart has run out of blood essence. So it's not going to deteriorate when it runs out of blood essence because we cranked it all the way down to 0, and we cranked this all the way down to 0.1. So it's going to drain super slow. And because this is single player, it's not going to drain when you are not playing the game. So you should be fine. You're still going to need essence. You just won't need hardly any. Anyway, I digress. So we're going to take all of these and we are going to crank them all the way up. This means that no matter what level your castle heart is, you can build to the max castle size. Next, I don't know why you would want servants because we're playing in creative, but just in case you do, crank all of these up. This is going to allow you to have the maximum amount of servants no matter what level your castle heart is set to. Then we're going to scroll down to crafting and building. Next, we want the building cost multiplier. We're going to pull this all the way down to 0. This is going to let you build for free. Crafting cost multiplier, we're going to crank this all the way down to 0 as well. This is going to allow you to craft for free. Crafting rate at the speed, this is the speed at which things are crafted. We're going to crank that all the way up to 10. Refinement cost, we're going to pull that all the way down. Refinement rate, we are going to rank that all the way up. Servant convert rate, we're going to crank that all the way up. This means that you will pretty much instantly convert your servants. Dismantle resource multiplier, if you want resources back, you're going to fill your inventory as you're building, just crank that all the way up to 1. If you don't want resources back because you're building for free anyway, just pull that all the way down. You won't get any resources back, but you're building for free, so it doesn't really matter. This will just keep your inventory from filling up with stuff. Here you can set your day length and day time length. I recommend just leaving these alone. You're immune to sunlight, so it doesn't really matter. Next, we have our vampire stats. We're going to crank our vampire health all the way up. We're going to crank our physical power multiplier all the way up. Our spell power multiplier all the way up. Resource power multiplier, we want to crank this all the way up too. This is going to help us clear areas faster. You can see here, this is the damage we deal to resource objects. Damage received multiplier, pull that all the way down to 0.1. This is going to make us pretty much godlike. Blood drain multiplier, we're going to pull this all the way down to 0. This means that whatever blood you drink, you will have permanently until you go drink another blood. Now we're going to change our equipment settings. So durability loss multiplier, bring that all the way down. Health multiplier, crank that all the way up. Resource yield multiplier, you don't really need resources, but just in case for some reason you want them for whatever reason, let's just leave that where it's at. Physical power multiplier all the way up. Spell power multiplier all the way up. So now we're going to change individual unit stats. So we're going to leave the health on our standard units alone, but we are going to take their damage multiplier down to 0.1. So between this being 0.1 and your damage received multiplier being 0.1, they essentially cannot damage you. Same thing with our V blood units, but for the V blood units, we're also going to bring their health down as well. So this will allow you to one-shot any of the bosses if you want to fight those for whatever reason. Maybe they show up on you, whatever. Now you can one-shot them and they can't really damage you. Now we're going to go to boss specific and we are going to click this and we're just going to click each of these where it says unlocked. This should give you each of their powers as if you have defeated them. Now that you've done that, we're going to move on to progression. And here it says your starting equipment. Take this all the way to the gear level 80 sanguine equipment. Starting resources, you can do different starting resources if you want to, but you don't really need any starting resources because everything's free anyway. So we're just going to leave that set to none. Next, we're going to click where it says unlock journal and it says show. We're going to just click that there and we're going to go through and check all of these. Now we're going to go here to where it says unlocked research and we're going to check all of these where it says tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. There you go. Now you should be good to go. So now what we're going to do is click save and then we are going to go back. And then we are going to go to start new game. Once you have created your character and you log in, you can see we have all of the sanguine equipment here. And if we hit tab, we are also equipped with all of the sanguine armor and the shard of the frozen crypt. If we click on our journal here, you can see we have all of the different abilities and we are good to go. So now what we're going to do is just walk out of the starter area. And now that we are out of the starter area, we can activate some admin commands to help us get to wherever we want to go much easier. So what you're going to do is hit the tilde key. That is the key that is beside your number 1 key on the numbers across the top row and above your tab key. So hit that. That's going to bring up the console command. The first thing you're going to do is type admin and you can see there it completes it for us. We want the admin auth. So then you are just going to hit tab. That's going to complete that. And then we are going to hit enter. You can see here it says you now have administrator privileges, super admin. So now what we can do is hit toggle and you can see there it says toggle observe. That is exactly what we want. And then if we hit tab to complete it, we have a couple of different options here. We can input 0 to turn it off. We can input 1 to go completely invisible, or we can do 2 to go to ghost mode. I recommend ghost mode because this allows you to still see your character. Ghost mode and completely invisible do the exact same thing. The only difference is you can see your character. So we're going to go into 2 and hit enter and you can see now we are all ghosty. Now we can just run straight. We are not bound by anything. You can see here, I can walk right off the side of this. I do not die. If I walk up the side of the cliff here, it just pops me up on top. So now we can say, let's say we want to build over in this area here. So we can put a marker and we can run straight to that build area. Once you are at your preferred build area, all you have to do is hit the tilde key again, hit up on your keypad, and that will put in the last command. And then we're just going to change that to a 0, and then that puts us back in our normal mode. Now, because we made changes to how much damage we do, you can see we do a lot of damage to all of the resources around here, and we knock them down relatively fast. If we come over here to this golem and we let him hit us, you can see he essentially does no damage to us. He can still stun us and stuff like that, but he can't really hurt us. I haven't done anything else. There's no more admin commands or anything like that. This was all just done with the settings. And if I get out of stun here and I hit him, you can see we do massive amounts of damage to him and we can take him down pretty quickly. You don't really have to worry about anything hurting you, and you can go through and clear out a nice little area in order to place down your castle heart. So if we go into build, you can see I don't have any blood essence on me and I don't have enough stone, but everything costs 0. So I can just place down a castle heart with no problem. I can expand my border area with no problem because everything is free, and you can see we have everything unlocked. Even all the research stuff, all of the boss stuff, everything is unlocked, and we can just go through and build whatever style castle we want to build. Now, if for some reason there is something you are missing or something that you want, there are some admin commands that we can use for that. So if we hit the tilde key and we type in give and we hit tab, you can see it gives us a list of options here that we can choose from. And you can just hit up or down on your keypad to pick any of these options. You can go through and see all of them there and just choose whichever options you want. Just a word of warning, be careful on some of the things that you spawn in here because there is pretty much every item in the game, and some of this may be dev stuff. Some of it could bug your game. I don't know. Like for example, you see here that says skeleton item dummy skeleton Have no idea what this is. I'm assuming it's a test dummy, but don't know. Could bug your game. You might not be able to remove it. Could be stuck in your inventory. So just be careful what you spawn in from this list. Your other option is to type in give, and you can see here it says give set. Once again, we're going to hit tab, and that's going to bring up some options here. You have different armor sets that you can spawn in, cloak sets, claw sets, different items that are just predetermined and easy to do. So like we could do give food, tab, hit enter, and you can see it gave us a bunch of rats. And you'll also notice that it is daytime, we are standing in the sun, and we are not burning, so you don't have to worry about any of that, and you can build into your heart's content. All right, well, hopefully that covers everything you would want to know about building in creative mode. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down in the comments section below, and I will do my best to answer them. And hopefully you found this video helpful and informational. If you did, consider hitting the subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified when I upload other videos. I want to give an absolute massive shout out and thank you to my supporters on Patreon for making this episode possible. Y'all are absolutely amazing people. If you would like to join my Elite Crew Patreon supporters, please check out the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you're shy, you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and show your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.